We are so close to an MVP. Like, I can literally smell it. All right, let me explain. So it's day 6 of me building the software business that I want to build. What we're doing is that we're building powerlifting meet software so that powerlifting meets are more accessible and user friendly for like all people and not just people within the community. Our goal started on May 1st, and I wanted to have an MVP out by May 4th, which was this past Saturday. This past Saturday, we were nowhere close to an MVP. So I was like, okay, we're going to do Monday. And of course, classic software developer. Today is Monday. It's 6 a.m. on Monday. Haven't slept yet, but I'm going to try and get something out today. But I'm going to sleep after this and then get it out. Hopefully, I don't sound too tired because it's actually 6 a.m. on Monday. So the goal started to work with 8 hours every day on this project. Some of those days, 8 hours wouldn't be really feasible, but we made do with what we have. And like, if I didn't have 8 hours on one day, what I would do is I would take whatever that leftover time was and put it onto the next day. And usually how my days work, was able to balance it out. So for the past 6 days, we've been averaging 8 hours of work every single day. So I mentioned how the initial MVP was to be done Saturday, and now it's been pushed back to today. The overall end goal is May 11th, which is a big meet in Texas, the East Texas Open. Hopefully by then I'll have something that users can use during the meet. Let me go through what we have so far. So we have the landing page here. This is just old copy. This is also old copy. It's from an old project. I just moved the colors over so that it looks good. For like the landing page stuff, I'm just using Tailwind UI. I had a project back in November that I was able to make money with, and I thought that buying Tailwind UI would be a really good investment. Turns out it was a great investment. I really like it. It's not like I've used it since then, but like everything it offers is good. I do think that you could get almost as far with like all the free options like Daisy UI, Shad UI, and Aceternity, and all the other like free UI stuff. But with Tailwind UI, I like how the solutions that I'm using are literally solutions created from the creator of Tailwind. So it makes it really simple to like adopt, and like I know I'm learning best practices by like going through it. So along with like the landing page and everything, you have a login page right here. I'm just doing Google OAuth for now, and I'm using Clerk for Auth. So once you sign in, you're taken to the meets page. And as you can see, you can either click a meet to like go inside of it, or you can create a meet. The create a meet form works. Watch it not work. It works. So you just put the name, the meet date, the federation. You put the federation so that you can pre-fill all like the divisions and weight classes within that federation. So let's go back to the meets page. So let's go into the sample meet that I made. So as you can see here, this is the meet page. I don't want to say that it's like, oh, it's programmed mobile first, but like I did make this with mobile in mind because everybody at the meet is going to be on their phone. So they're going to be on a screen. Oop, don't leak that. So they're going to be on a screen like this, and on the phone it works pretty well. Like you can't, oh, here you can see it like this. It works pretty well. And the filtering works and all that. I designed it with mobile in mind is how I'd put it. But yeah, along with displaying like the meet information, you can register for the meet, and it's going to take a little bit. So this is the meet registration form. It works. It's validated. It's awesome. It doesn't look the best, but I can just like fix styling later. Once you actually register for the meet, it actually fills out all your attempts. So like all these are rows in the database that are empty, and so it's actually like ready right now to implement the meet running software, but that just wasn't part of the MVP. Also, that's something that I should establish at the start, like what features I need for an MVP, because sometimes I just get sidetracked in like creating features that I don't really need. So one of the main features that differentiates this software from like what's out right now, which is Lifting Cast, is that this will have the ability to like keep track of lifters. I call it like starring a lifter. So like you sign in and then let's just say, oh, I want to watch Hannah, so I'll star Hannah. Then what starring her will do is it'll just put her into a separate list to where I can follow like, oh, she's going to be up in like 3 lifters, or she's going to be up in 3 lifts. Oh, she didn't really do good on deads and this is her next attempt. So in the old software, I can just show you right now actually. So in the current software, this is what it looks like. Haha, mine looks way better. So this is what it looks like. There's no ability to like keep track of this lifter. I mean, you can like go to this page. There is a lot of information on this page, but like there's no way to keep track of the lifter as well as keep track of the meet, or like keep track of like, oh, they're going in like 3 people or something like that. It's just basically fine grained control. I don't know, every time I record, another always comes out so hard. But another thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to make like the starring or like the following of lifters public, so that like it's nice to see like, oh, I have like 3 people supporting me. Oh, I have like 7 people supporting me. Or if like you're an influencer, you'll be like, oh, I have like 100 people watching me. And powerlifting meets, they don't really get that much viewership like in person, or they don't get that much viewership in general. So it'd be a nice little metric to have. And like maybe I was thinking like on the meet page, you can have like, oh, the most starred lifters featured or something like that. So that was one of the major features that I'm missing. The second major feature is an AI feature. Of course, I had to do an AI feature because like, why would I not do an AI feature? It's like the thing right now. So what I did was I basically took the entire USAPL rule book. Let me go get it. So I took the entire 82 pages of this rule book. I broke it down into like little chunks. I put it into a vector database, and I basically am able to speak to the rule book. So like if you have questions, you can ask it like, oh, what is a squat in powerlifting? Like if your mom's coming to support you, she's like, oh, I don't know what a squat is in powerlifting. It'll query the PDF, and then it'll spit it out to you based on that context. It's really cool, and I'm really excited for this feature. I think this feature is going to be really awesome. But yeah, that's the second feature that I need to ship. And like you might be thinking, oh, look, it's like shipped already. This is just like a bare bones implementation. It's supposed to look a little bit nicer, a little bit more stylish and things like that. Another example would be like, oh, why did I get a red light from the middle judge on squats? Oh, that is not what ours. So like so as you saw, like sometimes it just doesn't know, but I'm gonna like tune that to be a lot better. And plus this is using the dumber version of GPT. It's using like GPT 3.5. Once it's out in production, I'm gonna use GPT-4 on it, and GPT-4 will be a lot smarter. And also this was trained on an older version of the rules, so maybe it wasn't as specific. Once we have the MVP, it's going to be trained on like the 2024 version of the rulebook. So yeah, I think this would be a really, really good feature because like in powerlifting, usually people who watch powerlifters are powerlifters. And that differs from like normal sports because something like basketball, people who don't play basketball can watch basketball. And that's how the sport gets bigger because it's like watchable and it's like cool and easy to understand. In powerlifting, usually only the diehards know like the technical of technical rules. So this would like bridge the knowledge gap between the people who don't know. Like, let's say, as I keep on mentioning, it's like your mom coming to support you and the people who do know, which are like the diehards. It's like aiming to break down the veil of powerlifting knowledge. So alongside building software, obviously another goal was to record and post every day and post my progress. And while recording and posting has pushed my bedtime back quite significantly, I'm actually really enjoying. I'm weirdly enjoying. I didn't think I'd enjoy it this much. I feel like I'm learning something by talking to the camera, but I don't know if it's directly from the talking. It could also be from like the preparing that I do. Before I record, I like write a small thing. Well, today I wrote kind of a lengthy thing, but before I record, I like to write a small thing just to organize my thoughts. And I don't know if that the writing beforehand has made like my writing skills better, or me talking to the camera has made my talking skills better. Definitely not the talking skills. Or like I'm able to formulate and think through things more clearly as I'm talking, or just thinking in general. I don't know. So there's something I feel like I'm gaining on something, on some skill that I'm not able to pinpoint. But I think in the long run, this will be good. Yeah. So basically, there's something on the surface that's getting better. There's something on the surface that I can feel is getting better, but I don't know like exactly what it is. I started the series for me, or people like me who'd like to like learn from me, or just like experience the things that I'm experiencing, or like who think similarly to the things that I think. But I feel like it's starting to turn into something more. I don't know. That sounds like pretentious, but like maybe it's because I doubted that like I'd have any sort of reach from day one, because on day one I expected to have like less than 10 views. Actually, throughout this entire month, I really expected to have less than 10 views. But day one, for some reason, we came out swinging, and that hoe has 1,000 views now. Like it's pretty cool, and like the other videos are not doing as well, but I've been like every video I've been like tweaking one thing to make it more like day one. So hopefully this video will do better. But yeah, it's kind of really fun like waking up and checking that. I mean, of course it turns into a status game, and I'm not trying to play any sort of status games, but like it's kind of like a fun mini game on the side of like building software and building this business. Doing all that, like doing the business stuff, which I haven't even started, building the software, which is not even done, and recording every day, which pushes my bedtime back. And another goal that I had was to read or learn something every day, and that's like a small goal. And the reason I wanted to do that was so that I could talk to y'all about it. Usually, after all the life stuff and the software stuff and the recording, like it's 6 a.m., I can literally see the sun rising. I kind of don't set aside enough time for that. So I have to get better with my time management. Yeah, I had a story plan, but I'll keep that for the next video. So if you liked the video, leave a like down below and comment what you liked about it. And that'll be all from me. So see y'all tomorrow.